Well, hello everybody, and welcome to the Late Shifts podcast with Cam and Dan. We're
Hi.
here. What is this, episode 6?
Gosh.
I know.
We're getting to the point where I can't even count high enough.
I can't. Yeah, this is the most we've ever done anything in our whole
That was
lives.
the most we ever did anything 5 episodes. Let's be honest.
It's true. It's true. Well, this is going to be a lightning round episode just because there's a lot going on this week. But there's still some good stuff for us to cover. So I'm going to jump right in. First, we're going to do a weekend recap. We had some great performances and some duds. On the great list is a little guy we've been waiting to show up, known as Breece Hall. Breece, man, he looked so good, and he was so good.
And aren't we glad that we didn't trade him away for nothing?
We almost traded him away for we almost got that trade we tried to get, the Swift trade.
Yeah, DeAndre Swift.
It almost went through, but he decided not to pull the trigger. So
see, I told you that there was a potential there.
Oh yeah, it almost happened. And all the trades almost went through, but nobody bid. So anyway, Breece Hall.
Story of fantasy football trades.
Right. And no one talked to me about it. They just said later. I was like, give me a counter. Discuss. Anyway, that's another thing. Breece Hall, 26.7 points, 97 rushing yards, 100 receiving yards, a rushing touchdown, just everything you could ask for.
As soon as Zach Wilson came back,
Yep.
We didn't say that. We didn't believe it, but it happened anyway. So that's great.
Yep. Christian McCaffrey showed up. Rushing touchdown, 50 receiving yards, 7 receptions, 50 rushing yards. Great game by him. We'll see what happens. But he did that against San Francisco.
I think they might lean on him a little more with Mayfield out.
I would feel better if they would fire Ben McAdoo too, but that's another conversation. So we'll see what happens. Yeah. Matt Rule's out. This can only get better. Other news, Dallas defense was a great pickup. 5 sacks, an interception, 2 fumble recoveries, a touchdown, a blocked kick, and 7 to 13 points allowed. Insanity.
They are good.
Yeah, so we had good stuff there. Tyler Bass was fine kicking, but the rest of my team were dud city. We've got number 1 on the dud list, Jared Goff, with 5 points. 5.86. I just want you to look at it. Just look at it. Right here. 5 points.
Yeah.
5 points. Cinco.
Yeah.
And now, in his defense, they were stopped on the 4th and goal 2 or 3 times. There was a freak, that fumble was a freak thing. There was another freak fumble. There was a bunch of stuff that just went wrong in this game.
Things didn't fall for him. I think that's what's clear.
But that torpedoed him. It also torpedoed Williams because he got no goal line opportunities. He got he had 15 carries and did fine with them, but nothing else he could do. Brandon Ayuk was fine, nothing flashy. They didn't really need him in this game. It kind of just got out of hand with the defense and whatnot. And Garrett Wilson didn't do much because he didn't need to, because Breece was just doing his thing. So I still feel fine about Garrett Wilson, but we'll see kind of what happens with him. And then it was nice having a tight end.
Hey, look at that.
With Pitts on the end. I picked a good one. He scored a touchdown. So that's
good thing Pitts will be back next week.
Yep. On my bench, Bateman was out. Elijah Moore did nothing. He's off my team, I think. Pickens
he could be given up for nothing at this point.
Yeah, Pickens was good. Gallup, I think, will only continue to get better. And after watching Brian Robinson, I think he's going to be the one on this team. And I still think he's the running back worth cutting on my team.
Well, they weren't sold on Antonio Gibson.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
There was a lot of hype on him right away.
yeah,
He got the carries initially, but he's really not that good.
yeah. Well, we'll get to what I did with all these players, but here's what happened on the other side of the ball. He didn't start Amari Cooper, so that's good.
Okay.
But he had San Francisco's defense
Oh, yeah.
and Will Lutz and Olave and this.
Oh,
So that was good. Those 4 touchdowns were good. Oh, and this. So I was
that's the one game Josh Jacobs will be good.
I was up by 10 going into this game. And as you see, I lost by 34. Which is good because I shouldn't have had a chance, but Naheem Hines went out with a concussion and Higgins didn't play. And so like that just gave me a false sense of hope.
Yeah, yeah.
So in the end, you can see it was not pretty. This team is just much better than my team. So
Yeah. Yeah.
there's nothing doing there. But the good news, if I ever want to beat this team, is that San Francisco has a bunch of hurt players. They're going to get worse.
And they're
Olave's
going
got
to play Carolina every week.
right. Olave's got a concussion. Jacobs, I think, is going to peak and go down. Hines is not going to be a thing in the future. There's going to be Jamar Chase games. I think that's the only hope I have because everything else is good.
Well,
So,
and I think Joe Mixon is going to start taking over a little bit more.
yeah. Anyway, that's that team. I did make some waiver claims. Some out of necessity, some out of foolishness. I needed
Just
a
keep churning.
just keep churning that bottom. So
That's
I needed a quarterback for this week with Goff on bye. So I went for that. And I decided that Brian Robinson is an interesting idea, but the way I see it is he's like the Carson Wentz, but at running back. And so if I don't know when I can trust Carson Wentz, I really don't know when I can trust Brian Robinson because he relies on Carson Wentz. And so I decided to drop him for someone I can play this week. And so we've got Justin Fields coming in at quarterback.
He looked great.
A little bit terrifying based on these scores.
They're going to start trusting him more.
I
have to believe that.
I
He
think-
played really well.
I
He had
think you're right.
multiple
So
guys that were wide open drop balls.
Yeah.
I still am 100% in on him. He is going to be a good NFL quarterback, and he's going to be very relevant fantasy.
okay. So I the reason I picked him up is I'll play him this week.
Yeah.
I'll bench him this week. I'll bench him this week. But then if he shows any signs of life, start. Like boom. And then
that's 5 weeks in a row that you can put him in
Yeah.
confidently.
Yeah, and I'll need some of that with if I'm still playing the Jared Goff game. He's got some interesting.
This is the
stuff.
first real dud game.
Yeah, and Amon Ra was not 100%. It was New England. I think they're going to be. This will be the real test, right?
Yeah, the bye week is going to help them. Dallas is going to be tough, but again, if this offense is good when everyone's healthy, and again, the bye week is going to help with that.
Yeah, I'm going to be in a pickle, that week. So if Fields doesn't deliver, I might have to stream somebody else next week. We'll see.
Worth a shot, and I think he's got as much of a chance as anyone else.
Yep. So did that. And then the other interesting one is I dropped I tried to get Ken Walker back, but somebody else picked him up. I could have gone DJ Dallas.
Well, who knew Rashad Penny was going to go down with an injury?
Kenneth Walker was on my team. I should have kept him.
I know you should have. I thought about that as soon as I saw you with the waiver claims. I saw that as your first. I'm like, you never should have dropped him.
No, I know, but like, how do you know? Like, you got to keep.
How do you
churning.
know?
It was a freak thing. He broke his
Penny was the
leg.
guy in front
He
of him.
broke his leg.
If it wasn't that, it would have been something else.
Yeah, well,
That's
then
what
you should.
Penny
Then we
does
should have talked
every
about it.
year.
We should have known. This is why I drafted him. It just didn't happen at the right week.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I told you I like that pick. I told you I like.
I know. I did too, and I just dropped him. So anyway, Eno's been my boy. I think this week, he ended the game with 8 carries.
Yeah.
It's Seattle. They're terrible.
They are
and
bad.
all the other running backs are hurt. And so I think he's going to at least get the work. I don't think he will be a player that stays on my team, but I think he gives me a chance to win this week, and then I can drop him. But I feel more confident in him against Seattle than any of these people. So, once Gallup's playing a full contingent of snaps with Dak, I think he could be a wide receiver too, right? I'll slot him in.
I give you that.
But we're not there yet. And so if Bateman's out again this week, or is even hurt, like I don't really want to start him at not 100%. Don't want to start Gallup. Wilson was the guy I had in there, but at Green Bay, like I just don't know. I want them to run the ball that game.
Yeah, well, as it gets closer, maybe there's bad weather, and that kind of helps make your choice.
Yep. So anyway, I just like Eno in this spot. I'm not going to bench either of these two, but going to leave him there. So that leaves me with Pickens and Ayuk. So I think that's my lineup for this week. I'm rolling out Dallas against Philly. I don't love it, but I don't think I'm ever dropping Dallas at this point. And Philly has not been friendly to opposing defenses, but Jacksonville showed up. Minnesota was fine. And so Arizona is not a good defense.
No.
And Philadelphia did not look great against them.
I think Philadelphia is a good team, but it's going to be interesting. They haven't gone up against a defense like Dallas.
Yeah, it'll be very fun to watch. So that'll be interesting. The only other thing to note is I think Pitts will be back. I plan on moving him into my tight end spot and suffering the pain of that again.
Okay, I know this is again that East Coast to West Coast team. I'm not saying you shouldn't start him, but I don't know, man.
I mean, I don't really want to play Hayden Hurst
I get
against New Orleans.
No, I don't. I am not advocating for you to play Hayden Hurst. Kyle Pitts is the guy that you should play. I'm just a little more worried about that. But
you want me to go to this well? You want to start Mo Alley Cox?
That well is dry.
Evan
you
Ingram?
That well when you grabbed Hurst, and there's nothing out there.
You know who I almost started? Where is he? Where's my boy?
Cameron Brate?
No. This guy right here. Danny B.
Who?
Daniel Bellinger, New York Giants. And he got in the end zone, baby, on a running play.
That's sustainable.
I almost started him just for the memes, just to be able to say, who I started, baby? Danny B, but I didn't. I love that the guy in first place rostered him. That makes me so happy. So, all right. Two more quick things really fast. So I'm going to play Pitts unless he's out.
That's what we've determined. You have to play Pitts over Hurst.
I almost made this call instead of Fields because he has been better than Fields in half of his games. And he actually looks okay.
Mm-hmm.
And Dable's actually competent. And so if he gets any of his receivers back, he could be okay. Now, I'm not doing this.
Right.
But I could. And this game, his second half of the season looks pretty good. So I'm just saying.
And if Fields has got the opportunity to succeed right now against some pretty mediocre defenses.
Yeah.
If he doesn't,
by
all means, I think he will. But if he doesn't, you can pivot.
I mean, if he doesn't, I'm just going back here, right?
Yeah, man. Hey, he had a good game against Tennessee.
He did. He did. I mean, it wasn't a good game. He produced numbers. That touchdown or that interception in the end zone was
359 yards, baby. That's more
painful.
than Daniel Jones has this season.
Oh man, you're right. You're right. 4-1, baby. Okay. Um, last interesting thing to just look at, right? If Fields is doing something, if I had the roster spot, right? If I could actually pick up a player, if Bateman was declared out tomorrow morning and Pitts, I can move Bateman over here. I drop Hayden Hurst. You know who I would pick up? My namesake. Oh, he picked him up already? No! No!
Oh, Mooney's gone.
No! All right, well, I think he's
I mean, he
gonna,
had that really nice catch.
yeah. All right,
I don't
well,
know.
that's a shame. He doesn't need him. What do you need Mooney for? You've got Tyreek and Metcalf. Jerk. And he grabbed Gino from me. He's just mean. Just mean. All right, well, I guess I have nothing then. That's the end. It's the end of my thoughts. Here's the matchup. Here's the matchup for this week. Welcome to the bottom of the barrel. We're both projected for about 100 points.
Okay.
That's not very much.
Hey, a win is a win, though.
It's going to come down to Deontay versus Pickens. Oh man.
Well, I don't think teams have run well on Tampa Bay.
No.
And
I mean,
Pittsburgh
Najee has not been scary.
No, he's not been good.
Tonyan hasn't done anything.
Oh,
Really?
Scary Terry.
I should have picked up Wentz to combat the Scary Terry. Watch, this is the game he's gonna go bananas.
He's been consistent.
Yeah.
That's that Los Angeles versus Denver game.
Oh, that's terrifying.
I have no idea what's going to happen.
No, I have no idea.
I still like Dallas at Philly.
Yeah.
Just given how good Dallas's defense has been.
Yeah.
But
all right, well, we'll see. Here's the pivot now, Cam. My last thing before we sign off.
okay.
If I get my roster spot because of declared outs,
Yeah.
I'm drafting this guy. Double kicker in it. That's right. You know why? Because next week, Harrison Butker's on, or my guy Bass is on bye. All the two best kickers, baby. What do you think? You think I can deal one for some players? People trade kickers.
Easily. Everyone trades for a backup kicker.
You think maybe I can get Najee for Harrison Butker?
That might be doable.
That might be doable. They average the same number of points per game.
They have about the same value. Yeah.
Oh boy, that's painful. That is painful. I did listen to a podcast on my way downtown this morning where they talked about if they were going to draft today, Saquon Barkley, number 1 overall pick.
I mean, thank goodness you didn't.
Right, because this would be a disaster. I did just offer Christian McCaffrey straight up for him. You think that's a good idea? It'll just just tank everything I love.
See, we've talked about this.
His sternum immediately shatters and an alien comes out.
You can't take the players on the team that you like because it will only hurt you.
How do you think Kadarius Toney hurt his second hamstring? It's because he heard I was interested and his hamstring immediately tightened up.
No, what he was doing is he was taking one for the team to like convince you not to pick up any Giants. And he said, I am clearly the most expendable because I don't play anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So I will get hurt again so
Let
that Dan doesn't pick up any of us.
Let me just read you this this note. Kadarius Toney, hamstring, did not practice Wednesday. Tony is dealing with 2 hamstring injuries. He did not play in week 5, and his week for 6 is already doubtful. Tony can be cut. And it's true.
And I mean, I can't argue with the facts.
Maybe
And
week 10
doesn't
after the bye, he'll be healthy enough for a few snaps.
Yeah, he'll make it through like half the game and he'll have like 100 yards in like the first half, and then it'll all fall apart in the second half.
All right, so knowing that to be true, do I forget the Butker experiment and pick up Wan'Dale Robinson? He's back. Limited in practice. He's been out since week 1. He could be the Giants' top receiver immediately de facto. So I don't know. It's interesting.
I mean, I think he has more value, but again, can you risk taking a Giant?
No, I probably can't. If I'm going to take anyone, the right answer is this guy. Rookie Khalil Shakir. Have you heard about this clown?
I have not.
So he's a Bill. He is a slot receiver. He's got some juice. He was behind Jamison Crowder and Isaiah McKenzie. Crowder broke his ankle and McKenzie got a concussion. Shakir gets to play, just looks fast and good. Isaiah McKenzie probably comes back, which is why these numbers are zeros. But he was splitting snaps with Jamison Crowder before. And so, do I want a guy that Josh Allen just threw a touchdown to on my team? Probably, just in case he's like, oh, this guy's good. He's a rookie. He's interesting. So
there's probably going to be points available in that KC game. Yeah. And it wouldn't surprise me with the way the Bills do things. They might work up some stuff for him during the bye week.
Right.
So they might see what he can do. They might not do too much with him in Kansas City, but they might try to test some stuff out during the bye week and add in some wrinkles. I don't know.
Well, did you not hear that they're trading for Christian McCaffrey? And can you imagine?
I didn't hear about that wrinkle.
Oh, I didn't. That was as soon as they cut Matt Rule, there was a report that said the Bills have expressed interest in running back Christian McCaffrey. Can you imagine how good they would be if they added Christian McCaffrey?
If they had any running back aside from Josh Allen?
Dude, they would be unstoppable.
It would be the same amount of weapons as like the Chiefs had, pretty much.
It would be like when the NBA teams like overstack their roster and you're like, can these guys even be good? There's too many stars. Can you imagine an option play where the options are Christian McCaffrey and Josh Allen? Anyway, it's not going to happen. But
no, it won't. But that would be crazy if they could pull something off without giving any of their current pieces away.
They can have all the running backs.
That's what I'm saying. If they were like, okay, how about this, Carolina? We'll trade you all of our running backs for all of your running backs.
Oh, man.
And they'll throw in like a 3rd-round pick as a sweetener. Maybe they'll try to convince Carolina that it's a fantasy football trade.
Hey, anything is possible. Well, last question for you then is Giants are playing Baltimore. What's your final score?
Again, I think it's going to be tight. I'm assuming that Bateman will play in it. I think that he will.
Yep.
I'm gonna say 27-20 Baltimore.
Okay. I would take that.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say 21-23 Baltimore. I think
Okay.
the Giants will keep it tighter, but they're definitely not winning.
well, yeah, I mean, I think it's gonna be a one possession game.
Yeah.
I don't think it goes beyond that, but
That's incredible, by the way, that we think the Giants are capable of keeping it one possession with Lamar Jackson. I I I I can't physically like understand that it's
Yeah.
true.
I mean, it could be a blow up game, but I don't think so. I don't think so.
What is this podcast going to look like if the Giants beat the Baltimore Ravens next week? I might be shirtless. I I I might just be all in. Like we're winning the Super Bowl. This is a dynasty, best team in the nation for the next 10 years. Like Brian
That's-
Daboll is the
That
emperor.
will either get everyone who had watched this to stop, or it's gonna create a weird group that somehow is like, I don't know if I want to make any more videos for these people. I don't know
Alright.
what they're interested in.
All right, I promise not to do that, but I will wear my Giants cut off homemade sweatshirt if that happens.
I haven't seen you wear that in a while.
I only wear it at camp now. So I wore it last week and it's coming back this week.
Okay, well, I guess then either way, I'll see that. And if the Giants win, then we will. Maybe we should call like during the game because, oh no, we won't be driving, will
I don't remember what time the game is.
we? Is it a later game?
Baltimore Ravens.
Can't
It
remember if
is
it's at 3 o'clock.
at 12 o'clock.
Oh, okay, no, so we'll know how it's
Yep.
going.
Yep, pretty much once we get in the car, it'll be pretty close. Well, I don't know how long teardown will be. Anyway, this is a conversation for another time. But whatever happens, there will be a sweatshirt.
Okay,
So
that's
all
good.
right,
to know.
we kept this under 30 minutes. I think we did good. Any closing shots, final words?
I think we covered everything, like I just said, but Justin Fields, lock it in.
This is going to be the week my team scores 150 and it doesn't make sense. So
Justin
I'm
Fields is gonna put up 40 points, man. It's
looking
gonna
forward to it. Looking forward to it. All right, this is the late shifts shining off.
Signing off now.
All right, good ending.
Bye,
Bye.